Hello, I'm going to teach you how to play 8 Seconds. This is a press your luck dice game about riding bulls in a rodeo. The game is pretty simple. There's a little bit of strategy in it. To start your turn, you draw 3 bulls. And they're going to be worth different amounts of points each one. Here we have a 4-point bull, a 4-point bull, and a 10-point bull, and each bull has a different set of moves, turns, bucks, and kicks that are required to successfully ride it. There's 2 reference cards that give some information and also run through a turn. There are also foul tokens that can be earned throughout the course of a game. They're extra points at the end or can be used to re-roll clowns throughout the game. So on the dice you have a couple of different symbols. You have turns, which is a move that the bull can do. You have bucks. You have kicks. You have blanks, which are just to indicate a re-roll. And you have rodeo clowns. Now at this rodeo there are only 3 rodeo clowns on staff, so if you roll a 4th rodeo clown, that means you have to be the clown and you did not successfully ride the bull. There are 3 different colors of dice. On the green dice there's 1 rodeo clown, 1 re-roll, and 2 turns, and 1 buck and 1 kick. On the yellow dice there are 2 rodeo clowns. There is 1 re-roll, and then there's 1 each of buck, turn, and kick. And on the red dice, there are 3 rodeo clowns, and then 1 each of turn, buck, and kick. There are no re-rolls, no blank sides on the red dice. So on your turn, after you've drawn the 3 bulls that you're going to attempt to ride, you roll the dice. And then you decide what you're going to keep and what you're going to get rid of. So the rodeo clowns you have to keep. You can set them to the side. The blanks you have to re-roll. Everything else you get to decide whether you're going to keep it or re-roll it. So in this case I have a turn and 2 bucks. So the other thing you have to do on every turn is discard a card that you're working towards, one of the bulls, until you are down to only 1 bull left that you'll have to ride. So you need to look at what dice you rolled and what you think you have a chance of rolling. Now this 10-point bull is a pretty good bull, but it requires 4 turns, a buck, and a kick. That's 6 dice. I've already got 2 that are out of the running, which means I would have to get all 6 of these dice to line up with that. This 4-point card, I've got 2 turns and 2 bucks that it requires. I've already got 2 bucks locked in and a turn, so I might think I'm going for that one. This one I'm pretty far away from. I didn't roll any kicks, and I've got the buck, but I would have to get rid of the other 2 dice and re-roll. So on my turn I'm going to discard this 4-point card, which is going to leave me with this 4-point and the 10-point bull, which, you know, I'd have to be really lucky in order to get the 4 turns, and it would mean I'd have to re-roll one of my bucks, and I'd have to get a kick also. So I'm just going to work towards this 4-point bull right now. I'm going to leave the 10-point bull out. So I can re-roll my dice, and I got another rodeo clown, and I got another buck, which doesn't help me, and I got a re-roll. But once again, I have to discard a card. So I'm going to discard the 10-point card. And at this point, I can decide to either keep trying to roll to get that last turn. And remember, I've got a green die here, so turns are slightly in my favor to come up, as opposed to anything else. Although a turn and a clown, there's an equal probability that they'll come up. So if I want to keep trying that, I can just keep re-rolling those dice. Or I can choose a dismount. And you can dismount at any time on your turn until you've rolled 4 clowns. If you roll 4 clowns, or you roll enough clowns where you can no longer successfully ride any bulls, then your turn is over. But as long as you still have the option of re-rolling, you can choose to dismount. And when you dismount, you take any successful dice that you have that are moves, not clowns and not re-rolls, and you say, I'm just going to dismount and call my turn there, and then for every 2, you can get 1 foul token. So I'll take 2 foul tokens. Now those can be used later in the game to trade in to get a clown back. Or if you save them till the end of the game, at the end of the game they're worth 1 point each. So I'm going to save those 2. Now in a solo game, you just keep going until the deck is empty and you see how many points you can score before the deck is empty. In a multiplayer game, your turn would be over, you'd pass the dice to the next person. They would get the dice and then they would draw 3 bowls. So here we have a 6 point, a 4 point, and another 4 point. Then they roll the dice. And let's see, 1, 2, 3 clowns. And we have 2 turns, 2 kicks, and a buck. So I can kind of look at these and decide what I want to successfully ride. Now I've already got enough to successfully ride this 4-point bull, if I want to. Or I could push my luck and use the 2 turns, use my kick and my buck, and try and go for the 6-point bull with the kick. But I'm not going to push my luck today. I'm just going to go straight for a good ride, which is going to give me 2 kicks and 2 turns, and say that I successfully ride that. Now I have a buck left over. I have 1 good die left over, and when you have a good die left over, that'll also get you a foul token, which again can be used to either re-roll a clown or as a bonus point at the end. So now I've scored 7 points so far. I have a 4-point bull that I've ridden, plus I've got 3 points in foul tokens. So I can pull 3 more. I've got 2 2-pointers and a 10-pointer. So I've got a re-roll and 2 clowns. And here I've got 2 bucks, a kick, and a turn. So again, I have enough to get this 2-pointer right away if I wanted to. Or I can work towards this 10-pointer. And I'm going to push my luck this time. I need to get a bull or a buck and a turn in order to ride that. I've got my 2 re-rolls. I can discard something. Since I've already got this locked in, I'm just going to kind of hold on to it and make a decision later. And I'm going to discard that 2-point bull. And so now I have these 2 that I can work towards. So I'll roll my dice. And I got 2 re-rolls. Now again, I've got the decision to make. I can either move over here and get my 2 points, and if I do, I would get 2 points. I wouldn't get any foul tokens because I would get 1 foul token because I've got 1 extra dice. These don't count. Or I can discard that, push my luck, and go for this. Or I can discard or dismount right now and get 2 foul tokens. It's a push your luck game, so I'm going to push my luck and go for my 10-pointer here. So I still need a turn and a buck. And I got my turn, and oh no, I got a clown. And I didn't get 4 clowns, that would eliminate me immediately, but I do have 3 clowns, which means I don't have enough to ride this bull. But I do have foul tokens that I can trade in. So I'm going to turn in a foul token, which is going to get me 1 of these back. I could trade in 2 and get a second one back, but these are on the red dice. That's kind of risky, so I'm not going to pull those back. I just turned in a foul token to get 1 back, and I'm hoping for a buck. It's a re-roll. So again, I could dismount right now and just take 2 foul tokens, or I can re-roll. And I'm just going to re-roll again. I got a turn, and it's a push your luck, and I'm going for it, and I ended up getting it. So I don't get any extra foul tokens, but I did get the 10 points. So now I'm up to 14 points. And in a multiplayer game, you keep going around until somebody has successfully ridden 3 bulls. And once somebody does, then everybody else gets 1 extra turn. And the highest score is the winner. So the bulls are worth their face values. Any foul tokens you have left over are worth 1 point. So this would be 16 points. Somebody else might have 3 2-point bulls and might only have 6 points, but they triggered the end of the game. So this would be 16 points. If there's a tie, it's whichever player has the least number of successful bull rides. So if I had 16 points in 2 bulls and somebody else had 16 points in 3 bulls, I would win. If there's still a tie, if 2 players have the same number of points, 16 points with 2 bulls, then it's whoever has the fewest foul tokens. So if somebody had 16 points out of 2 bulls, so they had a 10 and a 6, I've got 16 points with a 10, a 4, and 2 foul tokens. The person with the two successful bull rides wins. In a solo game, you just play by yourself, and you play until the deck is empty. And once the deck is empty, you see how many points you're able to rack up, and then you try and beat your score on another game. In a multiplayer game, when the deck runs out, you shuffle it and go again. And that is 8 seconds. It's been a ton of fun. I've really enjoyed playing it. Everybody else I've played it with has enjoyed it too. There are 2-point, 4-point, 6-point, 10-point, and 15-point bulls. The 15-point bulls, you can only have one rodeo clown, so they're pretty tough to get. But I've seen it gotten a couple of times now. My friend Tony rolled a 15-pointer on his first roll and was pretty excited about that. My son rolled it after 2 rolls and was pretty excited, so it's possible. And there's a decent amount of strategy with deciding how you're going to handle the foul tokens, which bulls you want to discard, plus a healthy dose of luck with the dice. That's 8 seconds. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye-bye.